Hello, good evening and welcome to Draft Gym TV. As always, you are joined by me, Andy, FPL Teach Mode. And tonight we're going to be looking at the GameWeek 5 monster. I do literally have on the screen next to me the Leeds-Newcastle game because it's been a banger at the moment. Newcastle have just equalised against Leeds. I still have a bit of a cough, by the way, so I do apologise. Ferrell is in the chat. Evening, Ferrell. Glad to see you, mate. For anybody that is here as well, I think it might only be a few of us because the game's on. I am having a bit of a drink as well, so chin chin. Cheers, guys. Yeah, that's right. Fruity cider. I fancied it tonight when I went out. Right, let's have a bit of a look and see what's going on this week. So, I won't lie. I think a lot of people did this as well. Game week 4, I really struggled to cash in game week 4. I went with the tactic of going either with Ronaldo or with Lukaku, not with both. And that was obviously the wrong way to play it. So I feel like a lot of players just went with both and did very well out of it. So fair play to them. That won't be the case every single week. But, I mean, 2 premiums in there. Maybe that is the way we ought to be going, especially in our season longs. But this week, I feel like we've got some really good value, great teams. And I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about that a little bit later as well. You can see down below us here, we've got the player list and the stream going through all the players that we fancy this week and through all the prices as well. And then right down at the bottom, you can see the odds as well, which is always worth having a look at. Obviously, it isn't quite half time yet, although it looks like it's just about to be. St. Maximan's trying to do it all himself. Oh, Newcastle getting close. It's a hell of a game, really is. I will just hang fire going into some of the content at the moment because it's great just watching this game at the moment, to be honest. Rafinha's about to make it 2-1, isn't he? Oh, should have done. Oh, dear. Should be 2-1. Should be 2-1. I think 1-0's quite fair at the moment, though. Yeah, Ferrell, how has Raf missed? I agree. I mean, you saw it there. He even took the touch, and you just think, that's going in. Oh, fair play. Oh, should be. Glad I don't own Rafinha anywhere. Goal and booked. Right. Let's get started then. While I've got to try and reel through all this content just in half time and try not make it leak too many minutes as possible. So, very, very quickly, on our website, Draft Gym TV, obviously make sure you like and subscribe, guys. That always helps. Montefly has done the game plan. Absolutely brilliant. It talks you through game week 5. Literally, if you can never get onto my stream, this is where to go. You go through the bookies odds, chances to win, chances to keep a clean sheet, predicted goals, best defences that week. Honestly, it is like a cheat sheet. It is so good. You need to get on this. Montefly has basically made the Bible for game week 5 here. Stacks that you need to target from Alexi, who is our Siberian, that we're going to go to in a minute as well. And captaincies as well. That is in our FanTeam million game. So when you're trying to win 200 grand, that is Korf talking us through those. Obviously, he's a bit of a legend in the FPL world as well. And the FanTeam Monster by Nevermind, very, very good writer. You need to get onto his articles too. The content that we are putting out at the moment is fantastic. So make sure you do. But you know what? I like doing this on a Friday because you can see a lot more of the content, which is great. So let's have a bit of a look at the game this week. I've only got one entry at the moment. That will change. Do you know what? I've been looking. If we have a look at the fixtures, I think we've got some interesting fixtures this week. And I was talking about this on the Dream Sports stream that I do as well. I feel like, let me just turn the thing up. I feel like Man City, Southampton, yes, you've got to go with Man City. We're going to know the lineup, which is brilliant. So you're going to know who's playing against Southampton. I feel like this could be a 2-3-0 win for whoever plays. If we have a look as well, just have a look at this one. Man City are the highest win percentage, highest clean sheet percentage, and expected to score almost 3 goals. I mean, you've got to back them, haven't you, basically? So, yeah, we're going to go for Man City there. Norwich, Watford, I fancy Norwich to get something in that game. FPL Scope says, I missed the start of that. What website was it, please? It is draftgym.com. Make sure you go on draftgym.com. Honestly, the content on there for DFS players playing FanTeam is second to none. It is so good, and it is brought up in such a good way as well. Montefly stuff. If you're looking to see how to build teams, he's basically helping you build your teams. He is so good. Grabaxa Mex, yo, cheers from Mexico. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much, Mexico. I love it. Right. Burnley Arsenal. I am backing Arsenal in this one. Burnley look absolutely woeful. I am backing. Do you know what? I've even got triple Arsenal stacks in some of mine. They're nicely priced, and I'm backing them. Especially Aubameyang. I feel like he's a player that is being overlooked by a lot of people. I'm backing him to the hilt this week. Liverpool Crystal Palace. Really weird. Yes, you've got to back Liverpool, but they're going to be so heavily backed. I quite like fading them this week, which sounds ridiculous, but I quite like the idea of maybe not going with Salah in one or two entries. Yes, you're going to captain Salah in some as well, and you're probably going to have Salah, Jota, Trent Alexander-Arnold, like some of my stacks below me. But I feel like you could maybe fade them because Crystal Palace have been very good. Liverpool have just had a very, very hard midweek fixture. We'll see how it goes. FPL Scoped Bookmark, thank you. No worries, mate. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Feral Tequila from Mexico. Yeah, lovely. FPL Scope says he thought about a triple up with Pepe but bottled it. Well, you're about to see my stacks in a minute, and I have got a triple stack of Aubameyang, Pepe and Tierney, and I think I like it. I genuinely like it. They only need to do what Everton did the other day, and you know, they opened themselves up to Everton the other day, so I feel like it could happen again against Arsenal. Arsenal are a team that I think are due an uptick. I feel like they're in okay form at the moment. I love Tierney going forward. Let's go for it. Peter Carter, as a Norwich fan, I'm getting in 2 Watford enablers in my monster. Can see Norwich ending up with fewer than 20 points this season. Do you know what? I don't know. Watford are so poor moving forward. If we have a look. So Watford, 27% chance for clean sheet, 29% chance for win. They're only expected to score a goal. I think that will probably be lower than that. Norwich, though, expected to score 1.5 goals, 44% chance for win. I have Pookie in an entry. I'm going to say that now. I apologise. I do have Pookie in an entry. Ferrell, you can see Norwich players on Fam TV. Yeah, I do have Pookie in an entry. I do also have... I have Max Aarons, actually, because he's only 0.1 more than Williams, and I think Aarons is probably the way to go. But yeah, I do quite like Norwich this week. But yeah, I can understand if you go Watford, because they're maybe going to be a bit cheaper as well. Villa Everton... Whoa, that's going to go either way, isn't it? I feel like that's going to be some goals in that game. Although obviously Calvert-Lewin's out. I haven't picked many players in those games, by the way. FPL Bricky, what up? Peter Carter, boom. Yeah, I know, I've gone for Norwich. I think Pookie's really nicely priced, but we'll get on to Pookie in a little bit. Just watching that Rafinha goal again. Disgusting. Brighton Leicester. One thing, if you ask any Brighton fan, what were they going to tell you this week? Leicester always beat them. They always do well against Brighton. Doesn't matter how well Leicester are doing, doesn't matter how well Brighton are doing, Leicester will win. So I have been putting Leicester players in my team. Again, they are nicely priced. Vardy, penalty taker, he's in there. Maddison as well. I do quite like Maddison as a pick this week because he tends to do quite well against Brighton, but we'll have a look at that in a minute. West Ham United. West Ham versus Man United, I should say. I have been fading Man United a little bit this week as well. I think that's going to be a low-scoring game. I think both teams had tough fixtures midweek. West Ham did better than Man United, obviously, midweek. West Ham have obviously started very, very well. I feel like it could be a tough game. People are going to still be going for Ronaldo. I'm fading him a little bit, if I'm honest. Ferrell says, evening, Bricky. Yep, evening, Bricky. Oi, oi, Bricky. Oh, by the way, anybody that's in the chat, anybody that's just come in, I'm having a bit of a drink tonight as well, so cheers. Oh, go enjoy it. Do you know what? I might start doing these on a Friday night. They're quite nice. And Spurs Chelsea. I love this fixture. Do you know why I love this fixture? I love this fixture because Chelsea have been nicely priced, and I'm expecting Chelsea to batter Spurs. Genuinely am. You'll see later one of my entries. I love the entry I've got with triple Chelsea because I am going for Reece James. I'm going for Marcus Alonso if he starts, hopefully. If he doesn't, then I just get another defender with the safety net. And I've gone Lukaku. Spurs, I think, now have Bergwijn and Moura out. They've already got Son out. Kane can't do it all himself. They're barely scoring goals anyway. I do fancy Chelsea to run riot in that game personally. Yes, it's a derby, but I just don't see it personally. Peter Carter's doing a lovely little emoji there. Tell me what that means, mate. I'm not sure what you're commenting on. FPL Scope, Chelsea players are a ridiculous price for this. No, honestly, I completely agree. Now, one thing that I think, Bullstar, yes, Andy, on my third Peroni here, mate. Come on, I bought a little tenner pack of Copperberg. Oh, yes, please. I fancy them tonight. And I'm on about my fifth, so it's not going to last very long. FPL Scope, Mendy, James, Lukaku, yes, please. Mendy's a tough one for me. I think if Alonso's potentially starting, you've got to try and go for that because the upside's there, whereas Mendy's maybe not got the upside. But James, completely agree, and Lukaku's obviously there. Peter Carter, keep Chelsea quiet. Yeah, no. Unfortunately, doing this kind of job, I can't keep it quiet because I do have to tell you what I'm thinking. Now, with the premiums in this game now, I feel like FanTeam, after last week when Ronaldo and Lukaku both banged, I feel like they're going to start trying to price us out of players. I feel if you have a look here, 15 million for players now is ridiculous. Yes, we've got 107 million to spend, but 15 million, your budget goes so quickly. So they're trying to make sure we cannot just own all the premiums. Like last week, people went Ronaldo, Lukaku, and they were absolutely fine. And I think they're going to try and make us choose, which is good for. I think that's good for us. If you're switched on, that's actually better. I'm looking at it. I love the fact City are playing at 3:00. Love that. We're going to know the lineup. We're going to know who's playing. If certain players are playing, you've got to obviously get them in. If Sterling's playing, you've got to get him in. If Torres is playing, you've got to get him in. FPL Bricky, I've gone Harvey Barnes, double Norwich defence, Pope and McNeil. Oh, Pope and McNeil. I don't fancy Burnley to keep a clean sheet. Harvey Barnes I quite like, though. He played well midweek, but I'd be all over Vardy. You've got to get Vardy in this week. I feel like he could be that person that he could even come out the GameWeek top goal scorer, especially on penalties as well. Now, if we just try and make a bit of a team, I'm trying to be as quick as possible because of the game. If Torres is playing, I think you've got to play Torres. Midfielder, and he's going to be playing up top. You've got to get him in. Bullstar, prefer that too, Andy. Much better. Yeah, thank you very much. I think you've got to go with Torres. I think as well, if we go on Man City here, the other player I really, really like the look of this week is Cancelo. I really like the look of Cancelo. I feel like he is pretty much nailed in this team now. It's going under the radar, but Pep's picked the same team 3 times in a row now. Yes, they've now had midweek, but I feel like he's trying to get a bit more of a settled side. And Cancelo's been in that, and Cancelo's been very, very good. He had a great game midweek, and he is that kind of high upside player. Now, because of their pricing, I've tended to stop it there. If Jesus is playing, I'd be very, very tempted to get Jesus in as well. But I think I'm going to stop there for Man City players, and I'm going to move on to Chelsea. And I've already spoken about this already, and you've probably seen it down below me with my stacks as well. I absolutely love the Lukaku and then James and Alonso stack. The reason I love this stack so much, Lukaku's nailed on for me. He's going to be in pretty much all of my entries. James and Alonso, the reason I love them so much is because the high upside, they're going to be playing 5 at the back, so they're going to be getting forward. They're going to be supplying Lukaku. You can imagine that, can't you? You can imagine Lukaku goal, James assist. Lukaku goal, Alonso assist. You can just see it happening. And the other reason I like it is because they're the most expensive defenders at Chelsea. So if either James or Alonso gets rotated, you're going to get another Chelsea player in. If it's Chilwell, brilliant. That's exactly what we want. If it's Azpilicueta, that's not too bad. But if it's both of them, you start getting those options there. It's when you start playing with Rudiger and when you start playing with, Christensen, then you've got to be worried because maybe these players won't play. But the fact they're the 2 most expensive and they're only 8.1 and 8.2 million, they're perfect for me. I'm all over them as a pair. So that's my triple Chelsea that I quite like. You'll notice, by the way, I am fading Liverpool in this one. I'm going to have a team with Liverpool, but I just feel like my favourite team I've made so far doesn't have any Liverpool in. We'll see how that goes, won't we? Right, Arsenal next. And I've already mentioned it. Kieran Tierney. Love Kieran Tierney. I don't normally go 4 at the back, but if you look at that 4, Cancelo, James, Alonso, Tierney, the upside there is ridiculous. If they all keep clean sheets, amazing, but it's not really just the clean sheets you're after. They can all get attack and returns. They could all get attack and returns this week as well. So definitely Kieran Tierney. I've gone for Pepe. Let's get Pepe in. I'm not the biggest Pepe fan, but when he's in form, he is good. So I'm going to go for Pepe. I was tempted by Saka as well, but I feel like Pepe's getting forward more and maybe peppering the goal a little bit more. So I feel like he could have that bit more upside. The good thing with Saka is sometimes he takes set pieces as well. But obviously the big man as well you want is Aubameyang. Aubameyang on penalties, playing against Burnley. Really poor defence, Burnley, at the moment. I feel like Aubameyang could have some joy. And Arsenal seem to be on that little bit of an uptick at the moment. So let's go for it. By the way, in the chat, if anybody's here late, I have a few drinks. Lovely. On a Friday. Glad to have you all here. Really appreciate all the guys that come into the chat. Now, Ferrell, oh dear, Andy, no Pepe. No, we're going Pepe, Ferrell. FPL Scope, similar defence to mine. Cancelo, James, Tierney, Pereira. Yeah, I like Pereira. Also like Castagna this week. I think he could be quite good as well. Ferrell says Burnley 1-0. Stop it, Ferrell. And then I also want to get some Leicester in here as well because I think they could do a job over Brighton. So Jamie Vardy straight in. Now, I'm not enamoured by the midfielders. I do like Bricky where he says about Harvey Barnes. I don't mind that at all, but I think... Oh, I've changed that, haven't I? I think I'm going to go for Maddison. He hasn't had the best starts, but he does tend to do well against Brighton. So he could be one of those players that we can get in and, not many other players will have him. And then in goal, good old Kasper Schmeichel. We'll go for that. Now, if you have a look at this team, remember we're going to know the City team, which is really, really important. If we have a look at the top as well, what other teams are we going to know? We're going to know the City team. We're going to know the Norwich team. Whoop. We're going to know the Arsenal team, which is good too. And we're going to know the Liverpool team. Really, really important. Especially there might be some changes in the Liverpool team based on some of the rumours I've heard. If you have a look at this team, Lukaku, Aubameyang, Vardy, all on penalties. All playing nice opposition, like that. Torres, Pepe, Maddison. I mean, Torres could be up top, like that a lot. Pepe, it's a bit of an upside play, isn't it? And then Maddison... I don't love the Maddison pick personally. I mean, I've got 4.3 million in the bank here. Do you know what? I could even, if I wanted to. No, do you know what? I'm going to keep Pepe. I think I did this the other day and I quite liked it. I'm going to keep Pepe. If I got rid of Maddison, because I don't love that pick. If I changed him, just a bit off Gundogan, am I? Oh no, I'm well off Gundogan. No, forget about that. If I could try and maybe fit another Man City midfielder in there, that would be quite nice, wouldn't it? Maybe dropping Schmeichel down. I feel like this team has a lot of upside. I love that back four. Absolutely love that back four. Cancelo, James, Alonso, Tierney, so beautifully priced. The only thing is, obviously, for this team to bang, you need Liverpool to do nothing. And that's the biggest thing. So if you're going to do this, you've got to try and make sure that Liverpool don't do anything. If Liverpool do, this isn't the team that's going to win it. But hopefully you're doing more than one entry and you've got one covering Liverpool and you've got one that's covering like this. I think this is the way to go, though. Ignore Liverpool in one and then go full on Liverpool in the other. They're just so expensive. If we have a look at Liverpool, because I'm not just going to ignore them tonight. If we got rid of City and you went for some of the Liverpool players, so Salah, Jota, what have I got left? 7.9 million already. I'm struggling. I would need to get a 7.9 million player. Do you know what? I could double down on Arsenal. No, I've already got the Arsenal players, see? 7.9 million. I'm struggling. Maybe I could get another Leicester player in. Maybe I could get Barnes in. There you go. So, Jota, Salah, Barnes, Pepe, Lukaku, Aubameyang, Vardy, James, Alonso, Tierney, Schmeichel. That's not bad, is it? That's not bad. And that's with Liverpool as well. That's with no City, but that's with Liverpool, and I quite like that as well. So that's not a bad option either. So that's kind of where I'm looking at the moment. Either fade Liverpool or plug Liverpool into your team. I feel like City and Liverpool are the two that you're either going to have to play or you're going to have to fade. And that's just the way I play. There are going to be some people that try and get both in and, the fringes around them aren't going to be so good. but I feel like that is the way to go personally. Leeds and Newcastle have just kicked off again. I won't keep you too much longer, but if there's anybody out there that's got any questions, I will hang around watching the game for the next 5 minutes. And if you've got any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. Cheers for joining us. I'm just going to sit here and drink my drink while we're waiting for any questions to come in. Yeah, lovely stuff. What a game this is, by the way. Newcastle Leeds. Talking on Scout the other day, saying that we thought this was going to be quite a high-scoring game, and obviously it's been a lot of chances already. Peter Carter, cheers for your time. No worries, bud. Obviously, I know. Do you know what? Quite like Friday night football. I can try and get a stream in the half time, and it makes it quite quick, quite succinct. I'll tell you what, Newcastle are just all about St. Maximin, aren't they? If they didn't have him, they would be absolutely screwed. Ferrell, down it. If you put a little video clip of you downing something on Twitter, mate, I'll down this one. APL Scope, thanks, Andy. Few players in there giving me food for thought. Good luck. Good luck to you too, big man. Thank you very much for joining us. Hope you're joining us next week as well. Ferrell, perfect Friday night game. It really is. It's perfect. Do you know what? This is reminding me a little bit of the Euros, actually, when I was sat here during half-time watching Spain play. And obviously we were there during the Euros trying to get our teams to do all right in that one as well. Not sure about the purple kit, mind. Don't know what you all think. Not a massive fan of the purple kit. Kind of lilac. Don't tell Andy Martin that, will you? Bielsa's making it work, though. Right. I'm going to love you and leave you guys. Thank you very much for anybody that has been in the chat. Really, really appreciate it. Obviously, let us know if you do well in any of the monsters, because we really want to hear about it. Genuinely, we want to hear about it. So we'll see you all soon. We'll see you next week. Better than Spurs, you're right, Ferrell. And have a good weekend. Oi, oi.